Peace to the family. We back out here. We out here live, coming to you from the airport. You know how that go. Catching planes like cabs. You know what it is. Just wanted to build with you and say if you change your perspective, it's probably because you've changed the people that you're around, the conversations you entertain, or quite simply you travel. And traveling has given me a great perspective of the world, politics, and race like no other. So I'm strongly encouraging everybody else to make a more concerted effort to travel. Even if you got to sacrifice getting a new pair of sneakers, upgrading your car, buying some shoes, whatever the case may be. It's in your best interest to go out there and experience different people for yourself. Don't just read about people and read history that caters to your specific interests and needs, to your convictions or your preconceived notions, because that's what brings about cultural bias and ethnocentrism. That brings about cultural bias and ethnocentrism. So what I'm telling you to do is that you need to make a more concerted effort to go out there and learn people for yourself. Learn people for yourself. That's the best thing that you could possibly do. Learn people for yourself. Is this clear enough for you guys? Because when I'm in this part of the airport, it gets a little sketchy. Can you let me know? Is it clear enough? Press 9 if it's clear enough for you. It's not allowing you to invite others to the video. That's whack. That's trash. Word up. Oh man. Press 9 if it looks somewhat clear enough for me to do this. Otherwise, you know, I'll figure it out. Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Press the number 9 if it's clear enough so I can continue this build. Alright, good. We're gonna go over. Someone press 9, so it's good for me. It's good for you. Yeah, so I mean, I gotta get on the plane soon, but like I was saying, it's very important that you get out to travel, because when you don't travel, you're limited to places, experiences, and things. I oftentimes ask people from my community, what's the opposite of blue? And you know what they say? Red. And you may say, what's the logic in that? Because they see Bloods and Crips in opposition to each other. Or they came from a time where Bloods and Crips were in opposition to each other. So you ask, what's the opposite of a cat? They'll say a dog, because they see cats and dogs in opposition to each other, right? But now if we were to go somewhere at a remote place around the world where they probably got animals that we're not familiar with, or even, let's say, a giraffe. If I ask you what's the opposite of a giraffe, you wouldn't know, because your experience is limited to place and things and people, person, places, and things. So you have a noun exclusivity to your perception of the world. So when you go to different parts of the world,